Hello and welcome to another episode of Race Talk F1 with me, your boy J-Nox, aka J-Nox to the world.
And your boy Javier.
As we travel around the world via this podcast, talking about each of the races in this 2025 season. And we are on the penultimate episode, the penultimate race, 23 out of 24 in this 2025 season. And this week we touch down in Qatar.
Yeah, big money Qatar.
Big money Qatar.
The MotoGP track of the year.
Lusail International. This is where we are this week. For a week where we knew Lando could take the championship. It could be all decided this week. Although many of you lot, including me a little bit, just likes the idea of it going to week. To the final
2021 rerun, baby. That's what we wanted, right? That's what we wanted.
No, we want people to win fair and square around here. So basically, we're excited about this whole thing. And it's a sprint weekend. It's the final sprint weekend of the calendar. And it just means there's more points up for grabs. Obviously, sprint races on a Saturday, more action for people who are going to the Grand Prix. Another 8 points up for grabs for the winner of the sprint race. And obviously the top 8 all in line to win some points. Important for the constructors, important for the drivers, and important because 3 people are going for this thing right now.
Yeah. So initial thoughts, right? See, I think it's worked quite well because of the timing and it being the penultimate race of the season. What's your thoughts on F1 choosing a sprint race to be at a MotoGP track without seeing any of the racing first?
Like I don't think it makes any difference to me. It's just a track to me. When I heard a lot of the drivers talking about the track before there was any racing, they were all excited about it.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying this is one of the fastest tracks. Like who was it? I think it was George. Maybe I put it up there with Suzuka, with Silverstone.
Nice.
With he was saying like this is
Big
one
company.
of the best tracks, and I think it's because they get the opportunity to go flat out. They get the chance to really drive. Jeddah was another one that he mentioned. They get the chance to really put their foot down. I think it's flat out almost across like 3 corners, slight lift off the fourth, and they're excited about that. Like these cars do some mad speeds, and to really get to flex them, like you know what, I borrowed this M3 from BMW recently, big up Berry BMW and Credden, because they lent me this car. And you know what I realized? When you put your foot down and you're going pretty fast, it's like you're covering mileage very quickly. Now, it doesn't sound like much just saying it, but when you're in the car and the car is going at a certain speed, like you realize that you are covering mileage very, very quickly. And you can only do that for a limited amount of time. So as great as it feels, or as nuts as an experience as it is, you can only do it for so long because you're doing mileage. Like you're getting past. So if there's a turn there or a corner there, it's like you're getting to that corner so fast that you don't get to experience that for very long. I hope I've articulated that well, because I'm experiencing it in my head and I'm trying to explain it. And I know that I can't get this across unless you're actually in the car and doing this, But that's the closest experience of what I've got doing it, right?
Yeah.
These lot are going double the speed and then like 200
and this is what they signed up for, right? To feel the thrill. Like this is why they love racing. So for that adrenaline.
So for the chance to do this for more corners than any other track is exciting for them. So before this, to answer your question, I was excited for them. I was like, no, this is going to be good. And to have a sprint there, it gives them more of a chance to actually drive this track in a competitive fashion. And also, it's just going to be exciting because it's going to be a really fast track, which means really exciting overtakes and really exciting racing wheel to wheel is what I thought, to answer your question.
Cool. And then we go into sprint qualification, right? So did you have high hopes for Lewis this weekend? Did you think he's going to bring it back this week? This is the weekend for him.
Honestly, knowing how fast the circuit is and knowing that Ferrari have been kind of off pace, no, I didn't. I just thought to myself, it's not going to be He's going to flex, but we're going to see what these cars are really, really made of. But I knew that it's going to be one for the cars with the highest pace.
Yeah.
So I expected Mercedes to do quite well because I've seen that they've really had pace lately. I expected the Red Bulls to flex a bit because Max has been showing that they've got the pace in the Red Bulls. Yeah. And I expected McLaren to do bits because they've just been the paciest. Although, because of the whole plank issue and the disqualification, I thought that we could be in for a bit of a surprise with McLaren. But I didn't know.
Yeah.
But that's what I was thinking. I
thought you weren't far off.
And I wasn't far off, bro. I wasn't far off, man. It's kind of what happened. You watch sprint qualifying, right?
Yeah, so I just watched sprint qualifying at home this weekend.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I watched it on a catch-up thing, boy. I watched it, I think, Saturday evening. I think I was out all day in the day. So it was like watching. I could see the results because I kept an eye on what was going on. And I'm into WhatsApp groups. But yeah, It was a catch-up thing for me.
Yeah, cool. So sprint quali, Lewis went out in SQ1. So he done his last run. He was 15th. And then all the rest of the cars just started overtaking him, and then he went out in 18th. And I was like,
yeah,
pain.
You kind of notice, and this is what I like about the sprint weekends, is just like you're trialing during the sprint, or sprint qualifying is basically practice.
Yeah.
So you're just doing whatever you can do. You're making adjustments and whatever. Very disappointing, I think, for Lewis, and I'm wondering if he's just thrown the towel in a little bit.
So there was an interview with Lewis after that I saw this morning, and he came out and said the team saw something in the simulator sort of during the week. So they decided to implement those changes from the simulator into the car, into Lewis's car for this weekend. He's gone to drive it now, and it's not the simulator car. Like whatever data they've loaded in the simulator and tried there has not translated into real life. And he said the rear has no stability. Like the rear wasn't planted. So every time he's going for a corner, the back is snapping out. Every time he turns, the back was snapping out. I think he said going to turn 8, the car was bouncing. I know Max was complaining about a bouncing Red Bull as well. But Lewis said, yeah, his car was bouncing going into turn 8. And I just thought, this is why on the pod we say simulator's not always real life.
Bro, this is what I'm trying to say. And I think I saw this across the weekend. Like sometimes the sport is a little bit too data driven for me because there's no substitute for being in the car and driving the car and taking the advice of someone that's in the car.
Yeah.
When you make changes based on simulations, I don't know,
Yeah.
It helps sometimes, but sometimes it's just not it, man.
And it's just been Ferrari. Like there was another clip, I'm not sure whether it was from practice or whether it was from the sprint, but Lewis sort of, he goes to box, right? Like I don't think he was changing anything, but he's gone to box. And the pits was closed, like the garage was closed. Like they had the jack in the way of where the car stopped. The jack was there. None of the team was out, and Lewis just stops there. So,
what's going on, guys?
Where's my team? Has everyone gone home?
Yeah,
it's nuts. And it's just that was Ferrari this weekend again,
all over the gaff, man.
And it's like where I'm saying, is Lewis dropping off or whatever? And there's all of that kind of talk around Lewis at the moment. So again, it's almost like the Yuki thing, where can you even fairly judge Lewis's driving ability this year when you've got all the nonsense that Ferrari have been doing going on? Like we know he's there. We know they're not listening to the drivers. We know Charles, obviously he's more experienced with the Ferrari, but even he hates it.
Yeah. I think that's a big telling thing. The fact that Charles having the same issues or similar issues to Lewis as someone who's been there, arguably is a favourite there because he's been there, he's got a relationship. He doesn't seem to be in much of a different boat to Lewis. I don't think you can judge either of them because we know that they're both quality drivers.
Absolutely.
So is what it is. So yeah, the whole of sprint qualifying was interesting because everyone was just kind of getting to grips. Max was complaining about understeer quite a lot. Norris went off track a little bit, which for me this is exciting because it's like practice, but it means something because this is where they're going to start in the sprint race. And in the end, the qualification was interesting. Like you said, I kind of had this one now because Mercedes had the pace. I thought overall it was a good weekend for George. Like in terms of in the scale of things, I know he wasn't like super up there in terms of like competing to win all the way across the weekend, but I think it was a good weekend for Mercedes.
No, it wasn't. He was not far off Oscar Piastri. So obviously Oscar qualified P1 with a time of 1:20.55, and George was second with a 1:20.087.
We're talking about hundredths
It's ridiculous
of a second. What's that? 300ths of a second or something like that.
Yeah,
it's mad. 3 to 4. That's
you can't even even if I click,
Yeah,
it's not even a click.
Like
it's mental. It's absolutely mental.
Russell drove a good drive, really, and I think he was quite happy with his performance. I don't think he'd be looking at anything. And I think they'd be quite proud at Mercedes to have got this kind of pace, splitting the McLarens. So Oscar got first, obviously, then George, and then you had Lando in third.
Yeah.
And then after that, how amazing for Aston Martin and Alonso. Alonso is showing he still does this,
He's just putting the note out to everyone. Remember, I'm still here. And when Nui's car comes in next year, and congratulations to Nui on the promotion as well. New team principal for Aston Martin. He's just letting everyone know, remember, I'm still here, guys. I'm here to win.
And Nui, let's remember, Adrian Nui, he's regarded as like the best car builder in this Formula One thing ever. Now, he's at Aston Martin, and Aston Martin are just like, he's effect. I know he's having some effect this year, but not really. And you've got Aston Martin up there, fourth in qualifying. Like, this is a quick car.
It's a good result.
It's a good result.
It's a great result. Great drive from him, yeah.
Oh, Yuki Tsunoda out qualifying Max in sprint qualifying
for the first time this season.
Yuki, go on, Yuki. Just letting them know, still got it.
Where did that come from?
I don't know, bro. I don't know, but I would assume that this is down to changes on the car and Max's understeer and struggling a little bit and getting to grips with it. So that's what it is.
Yeah. But it just posed the question, what have they been doing to Yuki's car this whole year? Because this ain't the car's been the same and he's just somehow managed to pull off a P5. No, he just drove the same as what he's always been driving, and he's pulled out where he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's like, why have you done this to him?
I have no answers. I don't know. And I think everybody listens probably like, boy, no one's got any answers, but we know what it is.
And it's crazy because like there's probably been so many Yuki haters this year, right? He can't drive, he shouldn't be in Formula One, blah, blah, blah. He just pulls out and out-qualifies Max.
People have got very short memories, though. This is a person that started in a racing ball and he's been promoted to this seat. We have to remember that he's naturally been the guy. So we got to kind of got to leave him alone. I like these cars to qualify almost next to each other. Now, the Ferraris didn't qualify next to each other because, like you said, we had Lewis in P18, I think it was, and Charles Leclerc up there in P9. And also you had Kimi in P7 while George was in P2. So a bit of a distance on the grid between the two of them. But I didn't think that this was going to write Kimi Antonelli off.
No, and I think when you look at the timestamps, it was all like within a tenth, the top. So I think you've got Fernando in fourth, and then it's a tenth pretty much all the way down to like Charles Leclerc, basically.
So basically, the grid doesn't give a real picture of people being that much slower than their teammates.
It was very close. It was all very close. And I think Kimi's been in such a good vein of form that you kind of got to allow him this one. Maybe this just isn't one of his favourite tracks.
Fair play.
And then, Carlos Sainz in 8th, Alex Albon on 10th. And I thought that's a great result for the Williams once again.
Because this is just about pace at this point. Yeah. Remember, this is still qualifying, but qualifying while they're trying to get to grips with what's going on.
Yeah.
So the actual sprint race.
First of all.
Oh, go on.
So when Oscar put his car on first, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So Oscar's got pole.
So Oscar's got pole. The TV directors cut to the McLaren garage.
Let's see how excited they are.
Yeah.
Well done, Oscar.
Timber. What's the thing?
Tumbleweed.
Just tumbleweed going through the garage and like this. No claps, no celebrations. People say, "Oh, maybe that was Lando's garage." This is still McLaren, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just what is going on? It's insane.
There was a genuine lack of
enthusiasm.
Yeah. And I thought it was similar for the actual sprint race.
Yeah.
At the end of the sprint race, I think they did the same thing.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, cool, job done. Like, well done. Yeah, cool. On to the next. Like,
what did you make of that?
like, I was surprised there wasn't more excitement in that
Yeah.
garage. I don't know why. I think it's gonna fuel the conspiracy theorists that
Definitely
everyone is
did.
back in Lando, and I don't know if it's like that, but
It felt like that.
it did. But to be honest, the sprint felt a little bit flat overall. If I'm honest, I
Yeah.
think even David Coulthard said at one point, it feels like management race, not go flat out race. And it's a race where everyone's meant to go flat out. There's no pit stops.
Yeah.
It's just boom, you're on, go for it, hammer and tong all the way through. But it wasn't.
I think
really.
everyone was scared.
You reckon?
I think everyone was scared. I
What,
think
the
from,
speed?
I think from a McLaren point of view, it's like we can't afford any mistakes this weekend. Like no one can crash. We don't want to crash on a sprint and then not have a car for the race because one DNF, Max has won the championship, right?
Yep.
So I think they know, we cannot make any silly mistakes. So we got to play it safe. From a Red Bull point of view, I know we all laugh and joke about, Max will do crazy stuff or whatever, but he knows he can't make a mistake this weekend because if he makes a mistake this weekend, championship's off.
Yeah.
So I feel like everyone was just a bit cautious. Yeah, big time.
Easy. But what I found quite interesting for a track that I thought was going to have all these overtakes and be really, really cool is the fact that the lineup after lap 1 or lap 2 in the sprint was pretty much the same as the results.
Yeah, I don't think there was any overtakes on pace after that.
So on pace, right? So you make a good point. There was only 2 changes, I think, from that I noticed from lap 2 to the end of the race, to the result, and that was Stroll dropping 2 places and Kimi getting past Alonso. And then if you look at that, Alonso made a mistake.
Yeah,
quite unlike Alonso, to be fair, but he made a little mistake. And Kimi got past. Like Alonso touched the gravel. Happened to a few people across the weekend.
It really did.
Touched the gravel. But Alonso being Alonso, even though that happened, he kept the car straight and he kept in front of Kimi. But because he lost the momentum, Kimi got past along the straight. It just shows it can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
I've said that for a reason. I'll come back to that. It can happen to anyone. And Kimi benefited. He got past. But that was the only real changes between lap 2 and the end result.
Yeah, and then this is what got me onto the question at the beginning of just asking you, like, what do you think about a sprint race on a MotoGP track?
Well, I don't think it matters whether it's a sprint race or the actual race. In actual fact, it's just a race in general. Is how it kind of worked out to me. To be honest with you, I was very happy, very happy for Carlos Sainz again.
Yeah,
representing Williams to not only qualify 8th but finish 8th, which means he picked up a point in the sprint race. This is great. This is great for him. Like, this is great for Williams.
The form he's on is just insane.
He's picked up a point, right, for Williams at a point where Ferrari scored nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Bro.
Again. You know, like they've got rid of Lewis. Oh, sorry, they've got rid of Sainz, brought Lewis in, and it's like Sainz is just rubbing his hands together, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, I told you so.
He's flexing.
I told you so.
And I feel like it's just, well, the first time we talked about it, it was like, oh yeah, cool, Sainz. Oh yeah, he's showing them. Now the fact it's happened so many times, it's a bit mad.
Yeah.
He's probably looking at it like, no, this is actually not even banter anymore. This is real. But I think it's given him confidence as well to drive the absolute socks off that car.
Yeah. And he's just a smooth operator.
Oy.
Like, he's living up to that nickname so much.
Yeah, it was.
And it's just like, fair play, Carlos. And I think it was a bit of a slow start to the season, right? Some people were questioning, do you think he should have left Ferrari? Do you think he's upset that he didn't choose another team? It's like, no, I just needed some time to settle in. And I think sometimes you got to give some of these drivers grace period. Like, you got to learn a new car, learn a new team. Like, you might have moved house, you might have moved country, depending on where the factory is. And he's just showing with time, you can do this thing, innit?
He's the guy.
He's the guy, man.
No, I love that.
He's the guy.
A lot of track limits over this course of this weekend. A lot of people. I think it was turn 10 was causing people mad drama. Drama. But Yuki, for all his greatness we're talking about, he got black and white flagged, and then so this is maybe more of an FIA conversation. He got black and white flagged, then he got noted for track limits again. After that, then the FIA said, boom, 5-second penalty.
Yep.
Then they revoked it and said, actually, no 5-second penalty. And then they said, actually, 5-second penalty. Like, by the end of the sprint, I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. Flip-flopping around.
How
changing their mind.
And then Kimi got one as well. Black and white flag, noted.
Yeah.
And then I thought, maybe they're going to like revoke Yuki's and just allow them all because maybe they were struggling with this turn 10. They're saying maybe things could have been... I just didn't know what was going on. So by the end of it, I was like, but who knows? But at the same time, by the end of it, I think Yuki was 5 seconds ahead of Kimi.
He was, yeah.
And then Kimi got a penalty, but he was like more than 5 seconds ahead of whoever he was. So we still finished where we
Didn't
finished.
matter. Yeah.
Didn't even matter.
Sometimes I feel like they've just done that now to give him the penalty because they know it doesn't matter. So they're like, this is an easy cop-out for us. This is an easy escape. We're not going to be on anyone's drama walls because nothing's changed.
Well, you're on ours. You're on ours. Right. That was just all a bit weird to me. But it did let me know that we were likely to have some black and white flags or at least some track limits issues in the actual race, I did think.
So what did you think at the start of the race then?
What we talked about, sprint race?
Sprint race,
yeah. Cool.
So the sprint started, lights out and away we go. Yuki's got off to a great start, like very quick. He's gone up the inside. He's on the inside of Lando.
Yep.
And Lando's on the outside.
And everyone's being careful. At least Lando is.
Everyone's being careful. Lando's given so much room, right, for Yuki to come on the inside. And I think Yuki had all the space and time, and he could have just driven forwards and overtaken Lando. But it looked like he decided, I'm not going to overtake him, let me drop back. It looked really weird on camera to me. I don't know what your thoughts are, sort of when you saw that.
Well, I don't know if he definitely could have, because this pace sometimes, I don't know if it's misleading, but I know what you mean. Like the opportunity seemed like it was there.
It seemed like it was there, and it almost seemed like Yuki kind of was going to go for the overtake and then remembered, oh yeah, Red Bull told me to let Max by before I do anything else. So
I was going to say,
let me go drop back and do that.
I was also going to say it's not his job to be going for race wins. It's his job to pave the way for Max.
But would it not have been more beneficial if he did get ahead of Lando and then just held Lando up?
Of course it is, but you know, in that split second where he's trying to think and he knows Max is there and all the rest of it, I think he's probably just concentrating on letting Max through more than anything else, and Max can go and have that battle. And
I was just upset, man, because I'm like, Yuki finally had a car this weekend, right?
You want him to fight for himself.
Let me see him drive for the first time this season, apart from when he was at Racing Bulls, and it was just a bit sad that he then gets, he has to hold back.
A bigger conversation, because this is about winning a championship for Max now. So maybe it's just a bigger conversation, and it doesn't matter. Even if he was driving for himself, even if he was doing quite well, you get to this point in the season where it's like it could happen, but you need everyone like on your side. It would be, and we had this conversation about McLaren earlier in the season, maybe 6 races ago. It was like, do they put all their eggs into one basket, almost sack off one driver from winning the championship to guarantee that the other one does? But because they're both competing for it, and Papaya Rules says free to race.
This thing's the death of that team, bro.
Free to race through, boy. Maybe that is that's been like you said, the death of both of them, perhaps. Man, now, we're looking at a real possibility where neither McLaren driver wins the championship here
because of Papaya Rules.
You know what I'm saying? And the Papaya team, probably, as much as they'd like to have the championship, they've won the constructors. Let's remember that. As McLaren, they've done their thing.
They don't act like well, we'll get into that in the race, but they don't act like a team that's won the championship. We'll get into that
in a minute. We'll talk about that later. So yeah, that was a sprint for me. That was a sprint. On to qualifying.
Yeah. So as you were talking about drivers going over the limit, pushing the limit, driving over curbs, we had Charles Leclerc. Huge spin in SQ3 where he went over a curb, completely 360'd the car, lucky to not go flying off into anywhere. Yeah, that was mental, and you could see it was coming for him. Like as you said, like you had loads of drivers going over the curb, cars were snapping, had to save it a few times. I think Charles had saved it a few times in the sprint. This time it was just a bit too much for him. And his
this
car
is Q3.
This is in Q3. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, I kind of jumped the rest of them. Yeah.
But... No. I'm just making sure you didn't mean SQ3. But
in Q3.
Yeah, cool. So in Q3 of qualifying, bro. To be honest with you, it was just look, qualifying. Once again, we saw Lewis go out Q1.
Yeah.
Like I was gutted at this point. I'm like, a part of me had thought maybe he'd thrown the towel in. I said this
Mhm.
earlier. But at this point, obviously, what you're saying is the changes that they'd implemented into the car, it really showed up that it was not working for him, and it just felt like done out for done out for the season. He qualified. What was it? P17 in in the sprint.
Yep.
So this was P18 in the race.
Yeah.
I just remember it was 17, 18. 20th last race.
Bro,
It's
so bad, isn't it?
It's reflecting really badly on Ferrari, and I know that the Ferrari is it the chairman tried to throw some shade on the drivers about them talking about stuff too much and whatever, but realistically, I think he's trying to defend the name of Ferrari.
Yeah,
right
100%, 100%, 100%.
It's
damaging the brand.
It's in the mud.
It's damaging. It's not just the racing team. It's like it damages the brand.
Because I think people know that Charles is a good driver, and we all obviously know that Lewis is a multi-championship winner. So we know that it is what it is, and I think people are starting to see through and be like, "Nah, it's not that Lewis has done it. It's actually the Ferraris can't get it right." Again, I sit in WhatsApp groups and people are like, "Ferrari have done this. Ferrari have done that." Even what you're saying, like the changes they've made, Ferrari have done that. Like Ferrari are not ready for the pit stop. Ferrari. It's bad.
I saw a conspiracy theory over the weekend that people have been saying that the team's only gone downhill since Fred has joined.
Oh,
I was like, that's not good. You don't want them conversations to start because then your job starts being at risk. Once you get them whispers of, but now he wasn't doing this.
But if we're hearing these whispers, and they must be loud in the paddock.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm a bit worried for him.
Few less interviews from him lately as well, actually. Few less interviews.
Now you mention it.
Like, Fred is one of those people, like, obviously there's people that you can, they will cut and talk to during the race, for example. James Vowles is a perfect example, because you can go to him. He just seems to be very transparent. Like, he'll chat to you during the race. Zach Brown is another one. He was quiet this weekend.
Yeah.
We'll come to that. But you know, these people are people that we got used to hearing from them all the way through, straight after the race. You know, like, you can cut to them because they'll talk to you, they'll let you know what's going on. Whereas this weekend and over the last few weekends, Fred was one of those guys. You know, if Carlos Sainz won a race, you'd see Fred there celebrating with him. You know what? Congratulations, whatever, whatnot. You ain't really seen that recently.
He's not. It's the stress.
Now I think about it.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a very good point. It's slightly worrying.
Low key.
I feel like a lot of people on the grid really respect him, though, don't they? And they speak very highly of him. So it's
This is a nice guy, and he's pleasant, and he does celebrate with everyone. He's got the cutthroat edge. Don't mistake his kindness for weakness, but he's definitely, he's definitely. What did he say? What's that? He said something like, the work comes first. This is on a Drive to Survive series. I think it was about him and Toto being like good friends. So like, this is like team principal at Ferrari, team principal at Mercedes, good friends. But obviously Ferrari went in for Lewis, and that took priority over the friendship for Fred. He's got that cutthroat in him. However, he's pleasant. Like, he obviously balances it well.
Do you think Ferrari's going to go for a shake-up in the off-season?
I don't know. I don't think so. And the reason I say that is just because we've got the big changes next year with the regulations that everyone's building a new car. I think everyone, it's like line in the sand. You get to start again. So for people like Fred, like, this is going to serve in his benefit, in his favor, I think, because it's going to be like, you know what? Cool. Let's go again. And let's see how you are in this season. And no one knows what's going to happen. It's like a rookie season for everyone in a way, because it's new cars. Had this been last year, I think it might have been a little bit different.
Okay, fairs. Yeah, makes sense.
There you go. Qualifying. Boy.
Yeah, qualifying. So, we had Colapinto and Stroll go out in 20th and 19th. Any surprises there?
No.
I mean,
a little bit because we've seen, I tell you what, thinking about it, seeing Alonso qualify so high up in sprint qualifying, fourth, you do expect there to be some pace there in the Aston Martins. You don't expect someone to go out, another Aston to go out so low. And I think that would probably be the surprise, because, again, you would expect the Astons to qualify closer together. And Alonso got P8. So I suppose maybe more of a surprise than there should be, but I immediately said no because it's Stroll.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then you had Gasly got P9 while Colapinto was in 20th.
How is Gasly, right? So this is, I don't mean to get onto Ferrari here,
Yeah.
but Gasly has consistently made it into Q3 over Ferraris. In an Alpine is out-qualifying Ferrari regularly.
Yeah, on a consistent basis now. Like the last few races.
This isn't a one-off. This isn't Gasly excellence. Consistently, like if you look across the season, like Gasly, I think he's got like 10 Q3 appearances.
That's a mad stat, you know. That's actually quite a crazy stat.
Which is why I say Ferrari's in the mud as a brand.
Yeah.
Because now we know that this is not a driver thing, because Pierre Gasly's not going to outdrive Lewis.
Yes.
As just like you give them the same car, 24 races, he's not outdriving Lewis. So this is a performance issue with the cars.
Boy, it's crazy.
Scary.
It's crazy. And when you say performance issues with the car, Yuki went out in Q1 as well, in 16th, in the same Red Bull. Well, the same Red Bull that he qualified 5th the day before.
Bro, I don't know what happened here.
What is going on? Like, what changes did they take stuff out of Yuki's car because it worked and put it in Max's car for the weekend? Like, it don't make any sense.
So everyone kind of qualified a little bit lower. Like in all those teams, it's like everyone qualified a little bit lower. The question is that because the top teams got better, or did they just lose performance, or did they just, I don't know. Because Max qualified P3.
He did, yeah. He did. Oh, it beats me, bro.
Yeah.
It beats me. Formula One season's it's had some very weird and wacky
Twists
moments,
and
bro. And
turns.
it's like, you just can't make it up. It's like, it's almost like, and no one gives us an official answer to this stuff either.
No,
so
we
like,
got to be speculative.
Speculative, man, and just making up all these weird and wonderful ideas of why Yuki was able to out-qualify Max 30 minutes ago, and now his driving's fallen off a cliff.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
I hear you.
But that was Q1, and then Q2, we had Bortoletto in 14th, Nico in 11th, so still quite close together. But I was like, yeah, Kick's been sort of consistently around there, isn't it? Nico started qualifying a lot better, sort of the last, 7-8 races.
Yeah.
I would say he's kind of brought that. He was very struggling with qualifying earlier on in the season, and now he's kind of brought that back. He's being consistent. He's placing the car well. So I like that.
I've always felt that he's a better wheel-to-wheel racer than a qualifying driver.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, maybe he's just been working on his qualifying on that side of things.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, fair play. Liam Lawson in 12th. In the racing balls, whereas Isaac qualified in 6th, which I thought was another massive result for him, especially on this weekend. It was all about, so I think there's an announcement on Tuesday now about the Red Bull's driver lineup for 2026. So on a weekend where we're talking about, who's going to be driving in Red Bull, and we're going to find out, there's an announcement coming. To go P6 is a massive, massive statement.
Still your rookie of the year? Is he still your rookie of the year?
I'm going to say yes. Say yes.
Over
for me.
Kimi Antonelli?
I'm going to say yes. I think because he's doing, I know again, we've got the conspiracy theories that racing bulls might actually be faster than Red Bulls. But for Isaac to do what he's done in a racing bull, I'm going to give it to him over Kimi. But just slightly, because the pressure that also Kimi had to come into one of the top teams and do what he's done.
I think Lewis Hamilton's seat.
Do you know what I mean? I think that's an amazing achievement in itself. But I think Isaac's been slightly just more consistent as well. Kimi had that part of the season where, he struggled a little bit. And I feel like Isaac didn't really have that to the same extent.
I'll take that.
So that's why I'm going to give it to Isaac.
Isaac Hadjar, someone to watch, boy.
The Red Bull pressure cooker that it is as well, like to perform under that, to get the criticism that he got first race of the season and to come out to where he is now, I think it's just shown great resilience, great driving ability. And if you ask me, I think he's about to be rewarded with the promotion when the announcement comes out. I think he's getting promoted to Red Bull.
Is that a promotion? Yeah. To Red Bulls. Who knows?
Not this year, but next year, you never know.
Who knows, man? It's an interesting one. But yeah, no, he absolutely smashed it. In fact, we had those two rookies next to each other.
Yes.
Kimi Antonelli P5, Isaac Hadjar P6. Like pretty spicy. But yeah, interesting stuff, man.
And then Carlos Sainz 7th, Alonso 8th.
So Carlos Sainz, as much as I said, a lot of the drivers drop down a place or 2 or 4 or whatever. Carlos Sainz up a place on his sprint qualifying.
Yeah, love that.
I love that for Williams.
He's just like, yeah, I'm getting better and better as the more driving experience I get, the better I'm getting.
So having watched sprint qualifying to the sprint race, in my head now, I'm thinking, okay, cool. This is probably near enough where he's going to finish.
Yeah.
7th will be a good finish for Carlos Sainz in a Williams. Fast forward, we'll see exactly how that played out, because then we move on to the actual race, right?
Yeah, actual race.
So the actual race, we had Oscar Piastri starting on pole position. And now you're thinking, well, I'm thinking to myself, qualifying is life here, yo.
Yeah.
McLaren on the front row with a McLaren on the front row, like lockout.
Yeah.
Oscar and Lando. I'm thinking Oscar could come back and win the championship at this point.
Yeah.
Because nobody's talking about Oscar winning the championship.
They're not, like, even in all the drivers, so Max has not said Oscar's name once.
Even the interviewers, I put it on the interviewers. Yeah, like the interviewers are not asking him, "Oh, do you think you can do it?"
Yeah.
Max has been asked this question about 72,000 times in the last week and a half, 2 weeks. I haven't seen one interview where they're just drilling down to, so can you do it? So what's the chances of you doing it? So what do you reckon? So Lando said this, so what do you reckon? Like, none of that, you know. All of that is on Max.
Yeah.
But
on Lando, they're like,
and on Lando. Oscar's just quietly doing his thing, and here he is.
Can't discount him. He's on the same points as Max. Like, you cannot discount him, and he's in the best car on the grid.
Yeah.
What are we doing here, guys?
Yeah, it's just, and this is where it's about PR and press. Like, the emphasis just isn't on him. But here he is, P1 to start the penultimate race of the season,
and he got away well.
Turn
1, he was first place. Got away nice and clear. No drama for him.
Yeah.
Max doing Max things. Great start.
Yeah.
Overtook Lando pretty much, straight away, would you say?
Yeah, more or less, man. And maybe, now on this, right, Lando's learned from last week. He came across aggressively, protected the place, and got in front of Max. Ended up hitting the brakes too late, went off track. Max got past, and he lost 2 positions.
Yeah.
This week, he needed a balance. He needed to cut in front of Max harder than he did.
Yeah.
He gave Max too much room.
Yeah.
Max is going to take it, and Max got past.
Yeah.
I was, at this point now, I'm like, no way is this actually happening. Because I thought those 3 were going to be how the race is. I thought it was going to be Oscar, Lando, and Max.
Yeah.
But now, this shuffle on lap 1, for me, I thought, okay, cool. Well, this is actually how it's probably going to finish.
Yeah.
It's going to be Oscar, Max, and then Lando.
Yeah. But it weren't to be, man.
It weren't to be, because Hulkenberg was as great as we said the Alpine's been performing, and Alpine and then
kicks.
And Alpine, sorry,
the kicks in Hulkenberg.
Oh, was it the kicks in Hulkenberg?
So Hulkenberg's in kick. Gasly was with Alpine.
Oh yeah. And Hulkenberg got, well, it was classed as a racing incident in the end, I think.
It was called, the FIA said racing incident, no further action.
I think the was this lap 1?
Lap 7.
Oh, it was lap 7.
Lap 7.
Cool. I think the FIA have just taken a back seat on this one, because for me this was Alpine taking out a kick.
I agree. Hulk gave Gasly so much space.
He was on the outside.
So much space. It was ridiculous. And then Gasly just kind of clips the back tire of Hulk and sends him flying. And
shame for Gasly.
It's a big shame, because he qualified so well.
Yeah.
So well. And it's like, this was a chance for him to get some more points on the board. And he just took them both out.
Shame for Alpine for their performance.
Massively.
I've said, like, what they deserve, like something. They deserve to do, the points, because obviously the points make a massive difference in the constructors. But more sorry for Hulkenberg.
Yeah, because his race was done. He'd DNF now, and then that brought out the safety car.
And this, like, we expected this. Well, I expected a safety car, because I think the last 2 races have had a safety car after lap 1.
Cool.
But this time we didn't have a safety car after lap 1. Everyone got away cleanly, but I expected at some point in the race, and here we are, lap 7.
Yeah, lap 7, safety car. So now you've got a decision to make.
Yeah, which we all know what happens.
So for this track this weekend, you were only allowed to do 25 laps on a tyre. So it was a mandatory 2-stop race.
Yes.
So now you're lap 7 in, you've got a question, Do you want to pit under the safety car and take a new tyre, or do you want to stay out, get track position, and then pit later? But you're still, if you pit later, you're going to have to still do 2 stops.
Yeah.
What do you do?
So in this situation, bearing in mind it's a mandatory 2 stops, you take the stop now because it is a cheaper stop. It's an average of about, I don't know, 10
Half the time, really, don't it?
Yeah, it was about 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Between 10 and 15 seconds you save by coming in under the safety car.
Yeah.
So you pretty much, it's a bit of an obvious one. You come in under the safety car, you take the stop now, then you only have to stop once between now and the end of the race.
And that's what the entire grid did.
Except
the papaya.
So these two now, Lando and Oscar, both get made to stay out. Really,
they get made to stay out.
They don't
the
get
team
called in.
Yeah, the team kept them out. And do you think this was because of papaya rules? They didn't want to double, because obviously they were very close to each other. They didn't want to double stack them because they would lose time. Is it what do you think the thought process was behind
I don't know if there was any thought process behind it. I think, look, this at this point, right, it happens so quickly. Decisions are made on a split second. You have to be ready. And this is the thing, when you're in the pits, you have to be ready for every eventuality. You can be chilling. These mechanics and the pit wall, they're sitting there, they're chilling, right? They're expecting their drivers to come in at about lap 24, 25, and then they're going to have to do 2 stops in the space of 2 laps, and everyone's prepared for that. Boom, lap 7, and you're going to have to do potentially 2 stops instantaneously, and you have to decide, bam, just like that.
And the team that did decide first, with Max being in 3rd, was Red Bull.
Right.
And it's something I think we've seen consistently over the years, that Red Bull's decision-making in situations like this and in races, it's like that. Like, the Red Bull really gives them wings because they front lead everything. They take the risky strategy decisions. They make decisions like that. And obviously they've pitted first with Max and the rest of the grids followed. Maybe everyone would have done the same thing anyway, but if Red Bull's doing it, we're doing it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Teams think that.
I don't know if maybe they thought they were going to be really smart and knew or could see that Red Bull were going to pit. So said, you know what, we're going to do something different.
Yeah.
Because typically there'd be, a Red Bull or a car would be doing this for an undercut or whatever. But really and truly, this all goes out the window because it's a safety car.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they just didn't think quickly. Maybe they were a bit more relaxed because the McLaren team have won already this season as constructors. Maybe they're just not as sharp on this side of things.
Yeah.
And this is where I think they tried to cover themselves off because after this happened, the radio message that came over to Oscar, I think Oscar said, should we not have just followed them into the pits? And this is where it comes down to, if it came down to Oscar would have just come into the pits.
Yeah, 100%.
It was quite clear. This is where his thought process was. And he goes, shouldn't we just followed them into the pits? Or he wouldn't have been following, but you know what I'm trying to say. Shouldn't we just been in the pits as well, straight away? And the radio message that came back to him was, they've lost all their options. We have flexibility during the race. We have options. Options? Okay, cool. So what options have we got?
This whole thing would have sent me if I was a driver now, My head would have been so gone. Because what option, like you say, what options? We've seen how the sprint played out.
Yeah.
There was 0 overtakes in the race. So now you're telling me about options. What options?
Yeah, so for me, and I think everyone was like, well, do they know something that we don't know?
Yeah. That's kind of how it felt, right? Like the only team to stay out. You're thinking the Constructors champions, they must know what they're doing, surely.
Yeah, but you know what? This was a throwback to McLaren of last season, where I think they threw away the championship off the back. Well, they threw away a lot, I think, just off the back of bad strategic choices, because they had a car last season, and strategy-wise, they just weren't.
I honestly think there was some papaya rules action going on in here. I think they didn't want to split the strategies and let one car come in and let one car stay out.
There wasn't enough time to ask the drivers what they wanted to do.
Right, and I just think they didn't want to double stack, make one of them lose time to Max, and then a couple of cars have overtaken them by the time one comes out, because now it's we've cheated one driver, favored. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like the papaya rules have really messed
You think
them
they've
up.
taken too much of a backseat and just allowed it all too much?
I think
they should have been making some calls, and it's just bad. This is just bad team, bad management.
Yeah, I agree. Big up, it's Hannah Schmitz is her name. The Red Bull strategy.
Oh yeah,
I don't know her official job title, but she's the race strategist. She decides what Red Bull's going to do
the one
on
that
race
made
day.
the quick decisions.
Yes, the one that makes the quick decisions. And so obviously after this pit stop, Max went and won the race. He got P1. She went up and collected the constructors' trophy the end.
Yeah,
And it was so nice to see, and rightly so, because it was her decision that won Red Bull the race.
Yeah.
Max came out afterwards and said McLaren was faster. Like, we had pace, but McLaren was faster. The team won me the race today with the strategy.
They should, let's be clear. Red Bull should not have won yesterday.
No.
They should not have won this race weekend. Oscar and Lando, P1, P2, on the grid. McLaren should have won this race. Even if both drivers didn't come in first and second.
Yeah.
They should have been one who won the race. So it's like they've snatched defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah. And, Hannah Schmitz has made sure that Max has still got a shot at the championship next week.
And that's exactly where we are right now.
Because Lando ended up finishing P4.
That's really now he was disappointed at the beginning of the race, before the race began. He was disappointed not to be on pole.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
he was quite visibly disappointed, a little bit down. And Lando, we talk about this. Where's his heart in his sleeve? We can see his emotions. Man, he just looked a bit flat. He was a bit deflated. He was a bit disappointed in himself more than anything else. He's like, I should have got pole.
Yeah.
But he knows that he lost it to Oscar. He knows that this could have gone down to the final race now. But I don't think it was even on his mind to not finish P1 or P2.
Yeah. Yeah, it's mad. It's mad for Lando, and he was in his head again this race, man. So the one that stuck out for me, lap 36. Lando's mechanic said, along the lines of, "You're taking turn 7 wrong. Try this." Lando's response was, "I need more help then, because I can't do it." Sounded mad deflated. I need more help.
And he wanted to be coached more through driving, and in race terms, and on these races, especially these fast tracks, more time what we hear is the driver saying, "Leave me alone. I'm pushing. I know what I'm doing. Just leave me alone." And at this point, Lando saying, "I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do. Just tell me what to do every corner. Just talk to me, coach me through it." Oh man, he was gone.
And I'm just like, I just don't understand it from him. It's like, you're a good driver. You are quick.
This is confidence.
But why is your confidence so low? Your confidence should not be like this.
Because I'm not where I should be. So maybe I don't know what I'm doing.
You're still number one in the championship.
Yeah, but maybe I don't know how I got here, and I don't know what I'm doing, and it's all confidence was gone. And he just needed to. He wanted to be told. He wanted to be told what to do.
Yeah.
It's the complete opposite of what we usually see drivers wanting.
Yeah.
Especially on a track like this where they are flat out across 3 corners. They want to be left alone while they're going mad speeds. And Lando's here saying the opposite. Teach me.
Yeah.
By someone who's not a driver. It's
that it is a bit mad,
it
when you
worried.
put it like that.
At this point, Lando just wanted the race to be over.
Yeah, he did, and that was kind of it for him. Sort of the strategy ruined it.
Even that though, he wasn't. He was they tried to coach him at one point, because after the safety car, which was back on it's lap 9 now. I think they're coming back. The safety car is gonna come in, and Oscar, who's out in front, he's gonna restart. You gotta be ready.
Yeah.
Now they can't tell man exactly what to do, but they've said to Lando, get close to Oscar. They know obviously Oscar's gonna go quickly.
Yeah.
So they say what they can. Get close. And he's still not close enough on the restart. Oscar goes and he leaves Lando behind. He's had the coaching, he's had the hint, and he's missed it. He's just missed it.
Yeah.
His head was gone from the fact he was P2. And then his head was gone when he lost, he lost his track position on lap 1. It was just, man.
Oscar pulled clear 1.2 seconds within a lap after the restart.
Why? Why is he able to do this?
Yeah.
To you, Lando. Why? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
It's just in his head, man. And he's really gonna need to put it together for next race. So, and he's lucky that he finished P4 this weekend, because he was behind Kimi for majority of the last stint of the race.
This is interesting.
And then he managed to get a overtake if you want to call it,
why are you
overtake.
Why are you in inverted commas?
Well, Kimi drove excellently, right? This whole weekend.
He has.
See, he was in P4 at the time. Lando was in P5. And then just like on the last lap, for some reason, Kimi's car decides like wobble and go over the line a little bit. And
go over the
and
So
go
this
off
is the
track.
thing. Kimi's still a rookie. He's driving brilliantly, but Kimi got past Alonso in the sprint because Alonso, the most experienced driver out here, has had a wobble on the final. Or was it on the final? I can't remember if it was on the final lap, but towards the end of the race, he's had a wobble. He's held it together, but Kimi's got past him. In this scenario, Kimi's had a wobble and Lando's got past him.
I'm not buying it.
There's so little to talk about in terms of overtakes that people are grabbing this, including you, and grabbing this and saying that he's let him pass. Man, ain't let him pass.
Nah, he let him pass.
He's trying to get points for Mercedes.
I'm not buying it. Kimi just let Lando pass, and even GP jumped on Max's radio. Oh, I don't know what's happened there, but it looks like Kimi just let Lando through.
Listen, and that's because they just got nothing else to talk about. At the beginning of the race
was that boring. They're just bantering over the radio.
At the beginning of the race, they were talking about how crackly each other's radios are. Like this was on the sprint, maybe, but that's they weren't happy with. They were moaning. Like Max is like, oh, it's mad crack. Your radio's mad crackly.
Yeah.
Well, so is yours. Like that's what GP come back. Yeah, yours is too. But you was on the same radio. Stop talking about this, innit?
I'm not buying it, innit? Because we had George earlier saying that he was going to help Lando win the championship.
Aye, listen.
So I think Mercedes power unit gang, just let them go through. But yeah, you want to talk about George and Lando?
I don't know what happened here, but something where it was going a bit wild in the media, in the media press bit afterwards. I think it was after the sprint.
Yeah.
And like they're in the media pen where they're all having interviews with different people, and then all of a sudden George is getting involved in Lando's interview. I don't know who said who about what, but
so George sort of interrupts Lando's interview and goes, "Oh, what? You told the media that it was my fault that you messed up that turn." Lando's like, "No, I didn't say that. Who said that to you?" George then pointed out to
one of the interviewers and saying that she was stirring.
I
don't know if she was. I don't know because Lando goes, "It sounded like something that you would say." To George.
It was a class moment, to be fair.
And George is like, "Oh, so you're gonna believe the media over me?" It's quite disappointing.
Yeah.
Quite disappointing. Lando made his feelings quite clear.
Lando was he was upset, but he was vexed though as well.
Yeah,
he was vexed.
He was mad.
But I thought, is George just stirring the point at this point? Like, was he rage baiting Lando for a reaction? Like, or was this real?
George didn't. George seems to be here for the banter / stirring /
I love this new era of George, mate.
The demeanor seemed to be that he's not racing for the championship. He's just seemed to say what he wanted to say, which is the new George. Is George 2.0?
I really like the new George. You know, I'm not gonna lie.
It's a bit more just out there.
I just love the personality change, and now he's showing a bit more personality. I think he's becoming a bit more relatable because he's just coming out with all these jokes and stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, before I used to find him like I weren't too relatable to George, if that makes sense.
And for me, at this point, Lando's becoming a little bit more like Lando's rattled. Because now you're trying to find an interviewer, some woman from some broadcaster, and he's like, "Well, I ain't going to answer her questions next time. We're not going to go to her next time." Well, allow the interviewers, innit? Obviously, because man does this interviewing thing and we do this thing in the media, like I've got a bit more compassion for them. And like I said, I said this on last week's podcast, like I feel sorry for interviewers when they got to go up and interview Max, because Max is a bit off key with everyone. Like he's standoffish right at the get-go. Like, allow these interviews. Like some of them are just trying to like me. With some of us, we're just trying to break through. We got an opportunity, and you're being mad off key. Now you got Lando making out like one of the interviewers is like, and I don't know if it was that. Because maybe George really said what he said.
Yeah. It's true.
And then he tries to pull it back. With something that is, I was going to give you a toe. I was going to help you win the championship, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, stop talking rubbish.
Oh,
just stirring. I think George is a real stirrer.
He was.
And I'm here for it.
Bro, we need more of this drama in Formula 1, because on a weekend like this where there wasn't that much racing action, all of this stuff makes the sport more enjoyable. For me, anyway.
Yeah. They asked James Vowles because you're going to talking about the stirring.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even stirring because I just don't think he's a stirrer like that. They asked James Vowles, if you were at McLaren, would you have brought at least one in? And he goes, yes, definitely at least one. He goes, it's easy to say in hindsight, but
it's not even in hindsight. You should have brought your drivers in. It's as simple as that. Act like a team that has won the championship. You lead the way. You paved the way. But I just think, they just monumental mess up again from them.
And talking about what was happening in the media pen, Oscar was having his interview after the race, and Zach Brown comes over, interrupts, and just whispers in his ear. And the interviewer's like, well, you going to tell us what he said? And he just said, basically, he's just apologising for what was obviously a bad shout. And Oscar's like, I can't ask for more than that. He knows that they messed up. They know they messed up. Oscar was visibly upset because this has potentially cost him.
Yeah.
And he's just like, because Oscar was there to win. Oh my goodness, he was there to win the race.
And he would have.
He would have won the race. He drove pretty flawlessly. And he just goes, I can't ask for more than that, because Oscar's also put the car in the wall. Which is disappointing for the team when the team has done everything that they're meant to do. So we got to remember that happens as well. Both sides can mess up. So here we are. He's just saying, far from ideal, but I can't ask for more than an apology. They're not trying to defend it. They're not trying to, they're just not standing on a bad decision. Which respect to McLaren for that.
Fairs.
But they shouldn't have made a bad decision.
Fairs. And James Vowles was just talking from a position of power because his driver, Carlos, the smooth operator,
on the podium
again.
P3
again.
Another podium.
Another one.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable drive from him to go from 7th to 3rd in the Williams
on a track that
I can't even say in a Williams
there
because
was
2 podiums now.
There was no overtakes barely on this track, and he's gone from
7 to 3.
And
he had the sprint podium as well in Texas.
Driver of the day for you?
Absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt, driver of the day.
Absolutely mad.
And it's all onto the championship decider next weekend. What's your thoughts? So if Max wins the race and Lando comes 4 or below, it's Max's championship. If Lando finishes higher than Max, it's Lando's championship. And Oscar can still win the championship as well.
And I'm going to go back to exactly what I said right at the beginning of the season and what I said at the beginning of the podcast. Nobody is talking about Oscar winning this championship. All the hype is around Max doing it. And don't get me wrong, if Max does it, it will be amazing because we'd written him off halfway through the season. So there will be that. Lando, it's like Lando's to lose is what it kind of feels like. But at the beginning of the season, I said, this is Oscar. Before a race had been raced, I said, Oscar. And I think we might see Oscar take it. And if Oscar takes it, whatever happens, I think Max comes second, which would mean that Lando comes third. And I think it's so far off what we're expecting from Lando. Lando comes first or he comes third. There's no just missing out. And I've given the Lando of this weekend, my confidence in him has dropped, and his confidence in himself has dropped. He was at lap 33 messaging the team saying, check the car, I went off.
I do think one of the McLarens, I don't know which one, but I just have a feeling one of the McLarens is going to DNF next race.
I
don't know which one.
This is your
pressure's going to get to at least one of them, and one of them's going to DNF.
And pressure doesn't really get to Oscar like that. So you're saying Lando ain't going to finish next weekend. It's going to be a disappointment for a lot of you guys listening.
Do you know what? No, I think Lando's going to bring the championship home.
Oh, you do? So you think Oscar will DNF?
I think Oscar might DNF.
I read your statement wrong. I'm sorry.
I think Oscar might DNF. And it might not even be his fault, but I just think one of them will DNF. Like, it's just in the story that like one of them will be first, and then something crazy happens to him.
I've got to be honest. Drive to Survive this season is going to take someone, and I hope they bring it out like earlier than they have been. It's been coming out like end of Feb, like first week of March, like a week or two before the new season. I need to see this. I mean, ideally, I'd like to watch this on Boxing Day, to be honest.
That would be insane.
It's going to be too insane. Soon. I know, but I'd like to watch a proper recap.
I need all that inside information.
A proper recap of the whole season would be nice.
It would.
Sooner rather than later. Because This is, like you said, for the story, this just would add spice. But hey.
Carlos Sainz might all just win the last race, bro.
Yeah, I don't have the eventuality of what happens if Carlos takes maximum points. I don't have the calculations. It's so techie what happens. But hey, I'm here for it. Abu Dhabi, exciting, amazing track, amazing vibe, amazing entertainment. Yeah. I'm here for it. Yas Marina next week.
Where are you going to be watching it next week?
I will be back at F1 Arcade where I was for this week. So come join us down there if you want. It's going to be very spicy.
Oh, it's going to be party atmosphere, isn't it? Yeah. It's going to be lively.
Yeah. Everywhere's going to be busy, man. F1 Arcade Birmingham, F1 Arcade in St. Paul's, F1 Drive at Tottenham Stadium. All opportunities for you guys to go and watch Formula One with like-minded people, other people. Like the vibe at all of these places are absolutely amazing. Get yourself down there. Just one final thing for me.
Go on.
Different people would have watched different coverage. Why does GP hate Ted Kravitz? GP was there celebrating, and as soon as Ted Kravitz shows up, his mood flattened. And Ted Kravitz is trying to banter with him, and GP's having none of it. Miserable, or just hates GP. Just hates Ted Kravitz.
This is one of those ones where Martin Brundle says, I know what's happened because it's my job to know, but I'm not going to tell you.
Say less. Listen, it's been Race Talk F1. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, share with anybody else that you know likes F1. Just send one person at least the link for this podcast, please. I've been J Knox, a.k.a. J Knox to the world.
And your boy Javier.
We will be back for the final recap of the season and the final race next week with Race Talk F1 after Abu Dhabi. But for the Qatar Grand Prix, that's been it. Peace.